Hello friends, welcome to Conceptify. My name is Ravi Jain and here we make all your concepts crystal clear. Yesterday I have started Plato and that was my first lecture. And today this is second lecture of Plato and we will discuss some theories of Plato. And ये lecture थोड़ा लंबा होने वाला है because theory of justice is very important in Plato and let us revise from last lecture. In last lecture we have discussed about theory of idea. So what we have to remember in theory of idea is that there are two different worlds. One is material world and one is ideal world. Okay. The decline of Athens was due to the rulers were behind money and power. It means they have knowledge. They have only opinion. They didn't have knowledge. Knowledge is always true. It is permanent. It is transcendental. It is beyond time and space. It is absolute idea. Sophists were saying that knowledge is relative. So they were having opinion about everything. All right. So the real world or the material world is a reflection of ideal world. Or we can say that reality is shadow of idea. Okay. And we have understood the theory of allegory of cave, in which I have shown you that how one become philosopher after coming from the cave, and once he become philosopher he go to cave to enlighten other people or to rule them. All right. Today we will discuss about next theory, that is theory of justice. Okay. तो प्लेटो का जो क्लासिफिकेशन है हमने किया था कि सेंटर में क्या है प्लेटो के, आइडियल स्टेट ruled by philosopher king. Okay. It is at the center. Theory of class, theory of justice, and theory of education and communism. Okay. These are important theories of Plato. Today we will start with theory of justice. Theory of justice. Okay. So justice is very important and significant concept or central concept in political theory. Why? Because no state can remain peaceful or stable if it is not on basis of justice. Okay. Suppose let's take an example of British colonialism. It was based on injustice. That's why it was unstable and there were certain revolutions in India or movements in India. But after 1947, India got independence, and in 1950 there was Constitution of India, and in preamble justice has been mentioned. Justice, social, economical and political justice. All right. So Indian constitution or Indian state is based on foundation of justice. It means that justice is foundation of every state. If it is not on basis of justice, then there will be instability in society. There will be no harmony in society. All right. So justice is important feature of any political system. Or we can say that no state can remain peaceful or stable without justice. And every state has to be based on idea of justice. All right. So Plato क्या कर रहा है कि Plato is making ideal state ruled by philosopher king. Okay. And this ideal state has to be based on idea of justice. This is Plato is saying. Idea of justice. Let me again tell you what was the methodology of Plato. Plato's methodology. Okay. सबसे पहले तो ये देखते हैं कि मेथडोलॉजी क्या होती है. हाउ particular scholar or philosopher is telling the truth Okay, so Plato is using methodology of dialectics, analogy, और यूज ऑफ मेटाफर्स. थ्योरी ऑफ आइडिया में हमने देखा था हाउ ही यूज्ड एनालॉजी ऑफ केव. ओके, सो वी हैव सीन दिस, बट टुडे वी विल सी एप्लीकेशन ऑफ डायलेक्टिक्स. What is dialectics? Dialectics, it simply mean that critical examination. Critical examination. Critical examination of what? Existing theories. Okay, it means asking questions. It means examination of the facts around our life. All right, so dialectics comes in the form of thesis. Thesis is present theory in society or in particular field. That is thesis. Okay, then it is opposed by antithesis. All right, then comes new thesis. Or we call it synthesis. And this will be opposed by new thesis, new antithesis. Similarly, life moves on. आगे कार्ल मार्क्स आएंगे, he will use this methodology of dialectics, that is Karl Marx used. Before Karl Marx, it is Hegel that used dialectics for movement of history. Movement of idea, that is called as dialectical idealism. Hegel will say that suppose one idea come, okay, then it is opposed by certain idea. So the earlier idea was thesis, but the new idea become antithesis, and they will oppose each other, and new idea will generate. All right, and new idea will be new thesis or synthesis. Suppose gender equality, suppose concept of equality. Okay, so concept of equality, early it was thesis, inequality was thesis earlier, but in modern times it was challenged by liberal scholars like Hobbes, Locke. They challenge that this cannot happen in human society. All human beings are born free, equal in right and liberty, so everybody is equal. So it become antithesis. All right, inequality का जो idea oppose किया किसने किया? Antithesis ने. Now the thesis become new idea or new synthesis become that there is natural equality in human being. All right, then this become new thesis, but it was again challenged that gender equality should be there, and again this was challenged. Now we are talking about LGBTQ. There is Supreme Court. In Supreme Court recently there is a case for marriage, recognition of marriage of heterosexual nature. Okay, so as we progress, we challenge the earlier notion. Earlier notion was there in society, and it was fulfilling the purpose in the society. So that was thesis, but later it was challenged by antithesis, and it became new synthesis, new thesis or new synthesis. This is how life goes. Okay, it was the idea of Hegel, and we will later study that Karl Marx will use this dialectics in material sense. Okay, that is dialectical materialism, but we will study Hegel and Marx later in later time. So this is method of dialectics. Method of dialectics means first thesis, then antithesis, and new thesis become synthesis. Okay, we can take the example of water. Okay, less than 0 degree temperature. If temperature is less than 0, suppose -5 degree, it is ice. But once we raise the temperature in the form of antithesis, it comes the temperature at 1 degree Celsius. Above 1 degree, 0 degree Celsius, it becomes water in liquid form. But if we raise again temperature, it becomes 100 degrees Celsius water, and greater than 100 degrees Celsius, it becomes vapor. So earlier this was thesis and this was antithesis. So new thesis becomes synthesis. This was synthesis, but again this was challenged by this antithesis and this becomes synthesis. Okay, so formula of dialectics is thesis, it is opposed by antithesis, then comes synthesis. Okay, the synthesis becomes new thesis, suppose say T1, and it is challenged by another antithesis, then become synthesis or T2. This is how life goes on. Okay, now it is crude mathematics, but let us say Plato will ask question. These are existing theory of justice in society. Existing theory of justice in society. These were different theories which were existing in the Greece. All right. Now antithesis is what? Plato asks questions from these 4 person or 5 person that what is justice. They will tell about the thesis or existing theory of justice, but Plato will counter it through their antithesis. We will see, and gives his theory of justice. And that becomes synthesis. Okay, so thesis means existing theories. When it is critically examined, it becomes antithesis. Now antithesis, thesis and antithesis collides with each other. All right, the new idea, suppose there is truth in thesis. This was truth in thesis, truth, and there was truth in antithesis. Now new synthesis will have this component plus this component. Okay, this component means this, and this component, suppose, and this component is this. So new synthesis will have truth from these 2 elements. Okay, so this is Plato's methodology of dialectics. Let me again recapitulate for you. It is thesis, then thesis will be opposed by antithesis, and it will become synthesis or new thesis. So Plato will ask question about theory of justice in that society. Okay, he will counter them, that will be antithesis, and after countering them, taking truth from here and truth from here, the whole new synthesis in theory of justice. Okay, so let us see how Plato asks question from the character in Republic. So first character is Cephalus. Okay, actually there was a festival celebrate हो रहा था, and Socrates or Plato meets Cephalus, an old man. He asked some questions to Cephalus, and one question was, what is justice? So Socrates asked, or Plato asked, what is justice? Okay, actually we are asking questions, means critically analyzing something. Cephalus, what he says that I do my duty, okay, pay my dues. So that definition of justice. Sorry. It was Cephalus. not Polemarchus. He says that justice is telling the truth. Telling the truth. Okay? And being honest. He says this. This is justice for me. Now, this is thesis. Okay? This is thesis. Now, Socrates come. एक प्ले चल रहा है जैसे देयर इज अ प्ले एंड देयर आर डिफरेंट कैरेक्टर प्लेटो इज देयर एंड प्लेटो इज आस्किंग क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम दीज कैरेक्टर्स ओके सो नाउ सोक्रेट्स रिप्लाइज और प्लेटो why I am using Socrates again and again because Plato has created a fictional character in Republic named as Socrates. So Plato is speaking through mouth of Socrates. So I am using Socrates and Plato interchangeably. Okay, but Plato is asking question through one character, that is Socrates. Okay, he replied that telling the truth or being honest, it is justice. Okay, suppose take a condition. He is telling to the syphilis. Take one condition that if your person is angry, okay, he want to kill somebody, and you know some person is hiding there. Okay, some criminals come and you are hiding one person in your house and they will ask that have you seen this person? What will you say? If you say that he is there or she is there, they will kill him. So will killing a person will be justice or injustice? It will be injustice. It means your definition that telling the truth, it cannot always be justice. सपोज नाजी पीरियड की बात करते हैं कि हिटलर के कुछ लोग आए एक जू को फाइंड करने के लिए एंड आपने जू को क्या कर रखा था, he was residing in your home or he was hiding. तो क्या आप उसको बताओगे जू को, उसको नाजी पुलिस को कि जू है he is hiding in my house? No, you will not tell. It means telling the truth cannot be justice always. Okay, being honest, similarly being honest cannot be justice. It means that telling the truth always cannot be justice. So he has refuted syphilis. ओके नाउ सेपेलस का काम खत्म हो गया, वो चला गया, ही वॉज डिफीटेड. नाउ हिज सन पोलीमार्कस केम टू डिफेंड. अगेन सोक्रेट्स आस्क्स व्हाट इज जस्टिस अकॉर्डिंग टू यू? ओके, व्हाट इज जस्टिस अकॉर्डिंग टू यू? पोलीमार्कस सेज दैट I live good life and I do good to my friend and harm enemies. I take revenge to my enemies. Okay, so good to friend and revenge to enemies. All right, so these are two conditions of justice. Now what Socrates or Plato should reply? Justice is about highest human activity, character. How it can be harm or revenge? To take and revenge be justice? क्या किसी को हार्म करना, किसी से बदला लेना, रिवेंज लेना, कैन इट बी जस्टिस? नो. Again Socrates replied, Plato replied that this cannot be justice. It means Plato has refuted two existing theory, first of syphilis and second of Polemarchus. दोनों की छुट्टी हो गई अब, both have been defeated. Now come interesting character, that is a one important sophist. And previous discussion से आपको पता होगा कि sophist कौन होते हैं. His name was Thrasymachus. थ्रेसिमेकस क्या कहता है? थ्रेसिमेकस से भी वही क्वेश्चन है कि व्हाट इज जस्टिस. नाउ ही रिप्लाइड दैट justice is in the interest of stronger, यानी इंटरेस्ट किसका है? जस्टिस में स्ट्रोंगर का। यानी वीकर के लिए तो जस्टिस है ही नहीं, जस्टिस हमेशा वही होता है जो इंटरेस्ट हो स्ट्रोंगर का। इट मीन्स दैट इफ देयर इज गवर्नमेंट इन चाइना, हु इज स्ट्रोंगर? द कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी। ओके, सो justice will be in the interest of communist party. Suppose there is freedom of speech and expression or internet ban, then what should China do? Justice क्या होगा चाइना में कि he should ban, the government should ban freedom of speech and expression and it should ban internet. That will be in the interest of government, all right. But in case of USA, it is people, it is democracy who are stronger. It means that freedom of speech and expression should be there and there will be no internet ban. He is saying this is Thrasymachus. Okay, now this is very difficult question for Socrates, because he was not expecting such a good answer. Thrasymachus was telling the reality and it is difficult to defend the reality. Okay, now Plato asks questions. Plato says that, do you think that the ruler or the stronger government always know what is in their benefit? Do ruler always know what is in their benefit? ओके, क्या गवर्नमेंट को हमेशा पता रहता है कि ये एक्ट है या ये लॉ है? विल इट बी बेनिफिटिकल? लाइक एग्जांपल, डिमोनेटाइजेशन. The consequences of demonetization are not as per expectation. All right. So ruler cannot make always good decisions. And एक state ने एक law बनाया है. Okay, law should be based on interest of this, but law can harm the ruling government, like farmer bill. ठीक है, तो डेफिनेशन जो बता रहा है कि जस्टिस इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ स्ट्रोंगर. द गवर्नमेंट, हाउ डिड गवर्नमेंट डू? गवर्नमेंट मेड फॉर्म बिल. लेटर गवर्नमेंट हैज टू टेक इट बैक. ऑल राइट. सो कैन गवर्नमेंट मेक मिस्टेक और कैन स्ट्रोंगर पार्टी कैन मेक ए मिस्टेक? यस, दे कैन मेक. सो नाउ द Thrasymachus हैज बीन अगेन डिफीटेड. Okay, but the argument given by Thrasymachus has important place in realism. Okay, now comes Glaucon. Again Plato asks same question, what is justice? Okay, he says that justice is in interest of weak. It means that कि जो स्ट्रोंगर पर्सन है, जो रिच क्लास है, दे डू नॉट फील इनजस्टिस इन सोसाइटी. ओनली द पुअर पीपल फेस इनजस्टिस इन सोसाइटी. दैट्स मीन दैट ओनली द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ वीक इज जस्टिस. स्ट्रोंगर के साथ कभी इनजस्टिस हो ही नहीं सकता. तो जस्टिस पूरी सोसाइटी का कंसर्न नहीं है, केवल पुअर लोगों का कंसर्न है. Poor people come together to defend themselves. This is contractual theory. Okay, this is contractual theory. Poor people contract with each other to defend themselves against injustice. Stronger people never face injustice. Okay. Now, so there are 4 or 5 questions from Cephalus, Polemarchus, and Thrasymachus and Glaucon. Okay. How Socrates or Plato replied to this question? That justice is in interest of all. Interest of all. Now again came Glaucon and a character name is Adeimantus. Adeimantus. Spelling Adeimantus. अब ये 2 कैरेक्टर आते हैं, they are asking Socrates, you haven't cleared out doubt because Plato was unable to explain what Thrasymachus has said and what Glaucon said. He was not able to refute the claim of these 2. Okay. Now Glaucon asks a question. It is problem of ring of Gyges. Ring of Gyges. Glaucon asks that अगर एक person है, if he find one ring which is ring of Gyges, it makes a person invisible. He go to the king's palace and he kills the king. He raped her wife and become invisible. तो क्वेश्चन ये राइज होता है कि why should we consider justice superior to injustice? Why life of injustice is superior to injustice? सोक्रेट्स ने यही तो बोला था कि जस्टिस इज इन इंटरेस्ट ऑफ ऑल, यानी जस्टिस क्या है? सुपीरियर है. लाइफ ऑफ जस्ट लाइफ इज गुड लाइफ. द पर्सन हु इज डूइंग जस्टिस विल लीड टू गुड लाइफ. सुपीरियर विल. ओके. नाउ they are asking question, why it is that the life of justice is superior to injustice, or why should we just? Why should we just? Okay. The ring of Gyges अगर हमारे पास सब आ जाए, if we have power of invisibility, then why will we do justice to everybody? ये क्वेश्चन है. Now it is challenge before Plato or Socrates that how to defend this argument. This why life of injustice is superior to why life of justice is superior to life of injustice, or why should we just? All right. तो अभी हमने क्या करा कि 4 कैरेक्टर लिए, सेफेलस, पोलीमार्कस, थ्रेसिमाकस, ग्लाउकोन और एडिमेंटस. Plato started to ask question to each and everybody that what is justice. They gave their respective definition which was prevalent in that society. Okay, so that was thesis, but Plato refuted their claim through antithesis. Now it is time for Plato to give synthesis. All right. Now it is time for Plato to show that why life of justice is superior to life of injustice. Why a person who is doing justice is happier than the person who is doing injustice, or why should we be just in our life? Because now Glaucon again come and say, who is philosopher? Actually, when Plato was refuting the claim of Thrasymachus and Glaucon, then Glaucon and Adeimantus asked Plato, are you a sophist? He said, no. Why are you saying so? Why are you saying so that I am sophist? Because you are only orating. You are a philosopher. You should have moral understanding or deep understanding of justice. You are refuting our claim, that is okay, but you need to prove that the life of justice is superior to life of injustice. Otherwise, we will consider that you are like other sophists. Sophists भी तो यही कर रहे थे. They were just having opinion of everything. So, are you sophist? Are you giving just opinion on justice? You should prove you are a philosopher. You do not go by just opinions or oratory. You are doing what are you doing? You are just using your oratory skill. You are not using your philosophical skill. Now it is challenge to Plato. Okay. So before we will see that how Plato challenges solve this challenge, this problem of justice, that why the life of justice is superior to life of injustice. Before that, take down some notes. Okay. Right. Justice is central concept in political theory. Every state has to be based on some idea of justice. For instance, Indian constitution or Indian state is based on idea of social, economic, political justice mentioned in preamble of Indian constitution. Okay. If decline of Athens has to be addressed, then the ideal state in Athens should be based on idea of justice. The objective of Plato was the ultimate or perfect manifestation of justice. That is, if Athens has to be an ideal state, it has to be based on idea of justice. An ideal state for Plato possesses the four cardinal virtues of wisdom. ग्रीक में क्या होता है? फोर कार्डिनल वर्च्यूज हैं. फर्स्ट इज विजडम, सेकेंड इज टेम्परेंस, विजडम करेज, थर्ड इज टेम्परेंस, एंड फोर्थ इज जस्टिस. ओके. Plato uses methodology of dialectics to arrive at his theory of justice. Let me tell you something, that while writing an answer of any philosopher, we should use present tense. We should not use the past sentence, because we are making philosopher to live again through our writing. This is our work, that we should not say that he was 2000 or 2500 years ago. No, we are reading philosopher because we say that his vision or his ideas are having contemporary relevance. That's why we are reading. Otherwise, why we should read the treaty or the book which was written 2000 years back? Because it has contemporary relevance. That's why we are reading. It means that Plato is saying this. Plato uses this. We should use present tenses while writing an answer. Okay. So, what was Plato critically examined contemporary theories or views on justice and then defined the concept of justice based on method of dialectics. Dialectics means critical examination of prevalent views (thesis) through antithesis, the opposing view. The truth in thesis and antithesis is reflected in new thesis, that is synthesis of both thesis and antithesis. ये लिखिए thesis opposed by antithesis and the new thesis will be synthesis. This is formula of dialectics. Okay. Later Hegel uses method of dialectics for describing movement of history through idea, that is dialectical idealism. All right. ये 4 कैरेक्टर के नाम लिखिए. Socrates asked 4 characters that what is justice. अब रिप्लाई लिख लीजिए ऐसे ही. सोक्रेट्स का क्वेश्चन या प्लेटो का क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज जस्टिस, एंड रिप्लाई लिखिए. फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर इज सेफिलस, डैश लगा के. जस्टिस इज टेलिंग द ट्रूथ, बीइंग ऑनेस्ट इन वर्ड एंड डीड, एंड पेइंग वंस डेट. फुल स्टॉप. पोलीमार्कस, सॉरी सोक्रेट्स, something it is harmful to pay the debt or speak the truth. Okay. Example, returning knife to an angry person. Okay. Comma, telling the criminals who is about to murder a person where is the person residing or hiding. All right. Now, second character, Polymarchus replies, dash, good, doing good to friend and harming enemy, taking revenge. Socrates reply, justice is human excellence or virtue. Right? A virtue cannot do vice. V-I-C-E, vice. The opposite of virtue is vice. Also, who is friend or who is enemy is not easy to find. All right? भाई पहली बात तो ये कि वर्च्यू से वाइस नहीं कर सकते आप, यानी जस्टिस एक वर्च्यू है तो जस्टिस हम नहीं कर सकते. सेकंड इज पता कहाँ है हमको कि हु इज फ्रेंड और हु इज एनिमी. Okay, just a minute. Now, the third character, Thrasymachus, bracket sophist, dash, justice is in the interest of stronger ruler. Each government enacts laws in own interest. Hence, might is right. Is principle of justice. Okay. ये जो might is right का प्रिंसिपल है, this is used by realists in international relations theory. When we will study about second paper in political science about international relation, we will see the Thrasymachus का जो concept है कि might is right, it is used in international theories, realism, that who is in stronger condition like US or USSR will make laws or convention in their own benefit. अब जैसे यूएस ने ये जो वर्ल्ड बैंक बनाया, आईएमएफ बनाया है, यूएन बनाया है, ये उन्होंने अपने इंटरेस्ट के लिए बनाया है. ओके, तो थ्रेसिमेकस विल बी रेलेवेंट देयर. नाउ सोक्रेट्स रिप्लाई, डैश, कैन रूलर मेक ए मिस्टेक while making law? Do ruler always know what is in his interest? Also, ruler is like physician whose duty is to serve the interest of people. All right. So, physician होता है, what is interest of physician? To make the health of the person गुड, ओके। तो सिमिलरली रूलर का जो इंटरेस्ट है वो टू सब्जेक्ट, सब वेलफेयर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट। However, Thrasymachus' argument earned a place in the history of political theory. Socrates couldn't refute his argument completely. Now comes Glaucon. Justice is in the interest of weak, contractual theory. Okay, Socrates' reply: justice is in interest of everybody. Now again come Glaucon and Adeimantus. They challenged Socrates to show why life of justice is superior over injustice. You are not sophist. You are philosopher. You need to prove why justice is superior. They also describe about problem of ring of Gyges, यानी जो रिंग अगर मिल जाए तो मैं इनविजिबल हो जाऊंगा, एंड व्हाई विल आई डू जस्टिस। ओके, सो अभी तक हमने क्या देखा थ्योरी ऑफ जस्टिस में? क्रिटिकल एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ एग्जिस्टिंग थियरीज थ्रू वेरियस कैरेक्टर, क्रिटिकल एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ वेरियस थियरीज। नाउ अब सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज क्या है प्लेटो के सामने? टू शो और टू प्रूव दैट लाइफ ऑफ जस्टिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट एंड लाइफ ऑफ जस्टिस इज सुपीरियर टू इनजस्टिस। ओके, जस्ट अ मिनट। All right, so we will start with this question. Now to explain this, he uses the concept of classes, theory of classes, theory of soul and theory of classes. All right, let me tell you in society how classes has been originated. Okay, when person was, suppose there is an individual, okay, he was living alone. Why society has been originated? Why? Question is why society or community originated. Okay, so this person cannot fulfill his need, cannot the need, plus every person is different in attributes, different in natural attributes. Suppose there are three persons, 1, 2 and 3. One is farmer, one is physician or doctor, and one is shoemaker. They are having different natural endowment or talent. One can do farming, one can treat the patient, and one can make the shoes. But farmer need the advice of physician or recommendation of physician, prescription, and similarly he needs shoes. It means that he has to deal with them. So mutual need is there, and person are different in natural attribute. So need is there and there is difference in natural attribute. So people started to live together, and this made community or society. Community or society. All right. So why society or community originated? Due to mutual need, and difference in natural attributes. Remember these two things. Now, how society organizes? Once society has been created, this is society. It is created due to need and difference in natural attributes. Now, how society, again different question is how society organize itself. Organize itself. Okay. The principle of organization. Principle of organization. All right. So it is principle of economic efficiency. Economic efficiency and division of labor. Division of labor. What do you mean by division of labor? This was the division of labor. Farmer, physician and shoemaker. Okay. If there are different person in natural attribute, they should do work according to their natural capacity. So that is division of labor. Okay. So this division of labor, one section become ruling class, one section become soldier or warrior class, and another section become producer class, trade and craft. So this is how society organized, through division of labor. Okay, and due to division of labor and economic efficiency, classes originates, ruling class, soldier class, this class. So what I am telling you, that why society was created? Due to mutual need of subsistence. For subsistence, there is mutual need. Apart from this, there are different natural capacity or natural endowment, natural talent. All right, this created society or community. Okay, mutual need and difference in natural capacities. This created society. But how to organize this society based on principle of division of labor? Okay, division of labor is based on efficient model. Okay, this created different class. Okay, and they started to do specialization. जो शू बना रहा था वो शू में स्पेशलाइज हो गया, जो फार्मिंग कर रहा था वो फार्मिंग में से स्पेशलाइजेशन हो गया. अब डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर से क्लास बनी. ओके, नाउ दिस क्लास, इफ देयर इज नो interference between these classes in their work, then the outcome of this will be peace and harmony. Okay, so how to achieve stability? How to achieve stability in this society? Through non-interference in each other's sphere. In each other's sphere. Okay. What I am discussing is that सबसे पहले तो कि why society has been developed or community has been developed due to mutual need for subsistence and natural talents were different. Now so community has been created. Now how to organize that community? Okay, so through principle of division of labor based on economic efficiency. Now people were divided according to their labor. One was farmer, one was shoemaker, one was physician. They started to specialize their talent in respective field. Now, how this society will have peace, justice and stability if they do not interfere into each other's sphere. फार्मर जो है वो एग्रीकल्चर का काम करे, फिजिशियन है जो डॉक्टर का काम करे. ओके, सो this is how society has been generated and this is origination of class. Okay, so you can write some notes from here. Why, question answer की फॉर्म में लिखिए, why human being started to organize themselves in form of association. Answer: mutual need and difference in aptitude of individual. Why human being form society? Okay, establishment of society is in the need of humans for subsistence. Full stop. Multiplicity of need cannot be fulfilled alone. Hence, cooperation was required in the form of mutual help and reciprocity. Bracket, exchange of service. Full stop. Women started organization to fulfill their needs. Next question. What are the principles of organization? Answer: principle of efficiency, that is division of labor, comma, functional specialization and non-interference. Next question. What are the benefits of this division of labor? Peace, stability and harmony. Next question. Why we need specialization? Specialization brings excellence and perfection. Every individual is a functional unit. He is assigned particular tasks with clear-cut obligation and privileges, which one is expected to perform diligently and meticulously. None are born to render specific function. Certain level of training and skills are required for specialization. Next question. Why classes? Due to difference in natural aptitude of individual. The function of society, there are three functions: ruling, defense and production. Production means trade and craft. ओके सो यहां तक प्लेटो क्या करता है, सोसाइटी डेवलप करता है और सोसाइटी एज ए फंक्शनल यूनिट. ईच क्लास हैज टू डू सम फंक्शन. ओके तो हमने अभी देखा कि सोसाइटी कैसे बनती है. वाई सोसाइटी, वाई क्लास, and outcome of this arrangement we have seen this. Now just a minute. Now Plato uses class by metal and soul. His theory of metal and soul. Plato says that people born with metal in their soul and their respective metal in the soul decides the quality of soul and their virtue. Okay, let's make some table. Okay, so suppose here we take metal. जो metal होगा उसके corresponding there will be soul, and soul will have certain quality. Okay, quality means virtue. और जो वर्च्यू होगा उसके बेसिस पे क्लास अलोकेट होगी. ओके और क्लास के बेसिस पे फंक्शन. नाउ सी, सपोज वन पर्सन इज ऑफ गोल्ड. देयर आर थ्री मेटल: गोल्ड, सिल्वर एंड ब्रॉन्ज. नाउ people having gold soul will have rational soul. Okay, and silver spirited soul, bronze appetitive soul. The quality of rational soul will be, he will be lover of wisdom, okay, or he will have idea of good. Similarly, the spirited person will be lover of passion, lover of honor and victory, and this person will be lover of material things, money and material things. Okay, now what will be the virtue? Virtue will be wisdom. तो विजडम को लवर कर रहा है, उसका वर्च्यू क्या होगा? विजडम. ओके, ही विल हैव करेज एंड ही विल हैव टेम्परेंस. ओके, द क्लास ऑफ विजडम विल बी रूलिंग क्लास. रूलिंग क्लास. करेज, सोल्जर क्लास. प्रोड्यूसिंग क्लास, प्रोड्यूसर क्लास. ट्रेड एंड क्राफ्ट. Okay, function of ruling class will be deliberation, governance. Governance. Soldier class will to defend the country, defense and production. Okay. All right. So this is very important table. It is describing the theory of justice. Let me tell you. Just wait. Okay. So Plato is saying that every man is born with some metal in their soul. तीन टाइप के मेटल है, गोल्ड, सिल्वर एंड ब्रोंज. गोल्ड, सिल्वर एंड ब्रोंज, थ्री कैटेगरी. गोल्ड कैटेगरी मेटल, ब्रोंज कैटेगरी मेटल, और ये तीन टाइप की लोग हैं. किसी के में ये गोल्ड है, किसी में सिल्वर, किसी में ब्रोंज है. अब जो गोल्ड कैटेगरी का मेटल है उसकी सोल है वो रेशनल सोल है. यानी रेशनल सोल मीन ही यूजेस रीजन, ही लव्स विजडम, उसका वर्च्यू है. तो वो क्या बनेगा? रूलर, बिकॉज ही विल नो द फिलोसफी, फिलोसोफर रूलर. और उसका काम होगा डेलिब्रेशन और गवर्नेंस. फर्स्ट. सेकेंड, जिसका मेटल होगा ब्रोंज, सिल्वर का, ही विल हैव पैशन for victory and honor. Okay, so his soul will be courageous soul or spirited soul. Now what will be his function? His function will be to defend the country and it will be soldier class. Okay, now bronze person will have appetitive, he will be hungry for money, hungry for material things, then he will become producer class. Okay, तो ये क्लास, मेटल, सोल, क्लास, फंक्शन, ये थियरी है इसकी जस्टिस की. अभी जस्टिस की कंक्लूजन अभी बताऊंगा, लेकिन ये सोल की थियरी है, थियरी ऑफ सोल. ओके, अगेन आई एम टेलिंग यू दैट जिसके पास गोल्ड का मेटल होगा वो रेशनल सोल होगी और ही विल लव विजडम. ओके, विजडम. ही विल बी रूलिंग द सिटी and the function will be deliberation and governance. Similarly, जिसकी सोल में सिल्वर मेटल होगा, it will be spirited soul and he will have courage और सोल्जर बनेगा और डिफेंस करेगा. Similarly, bronze, he will be appetitive soul और उसको प्रोडक्शन का काम दिया जाएगा. ठीक है, तो अभी हमने पढ़ा था ना तीन क्लासेस सोसाइटी में होगी. ठीक है, तो ये क्लासेस की थियरी है. ओके, सो you can write notes on theory of soul. ये डायग्राम बनाना है, ये डायग्राम एक बार बना लीजिए, then I will dictate notes on theory of soul. All right, write some notes on theory of soul. Plato tries to answer why people differ in individual talent. He uses myth of metals to describe different type of soul. Plato borrows theory of soul from Pythagoras. Every human soul has three qualities: rational soul, spirit, and appetitive soul. Justice is the fourth virtue, architectonic in nature, balancing and harmonizing the other three qualities. Okay, so we have written every human soul has three qualities: rational, spirit, and appetitive. Justice is the fourth virtue, आर्किटेक्टोनिक इन नेचर, यानी तीन क्वालिटी है: रेशनल सोल, एपिटेटिव सोल एंड करेजियस सोल. इन तीनों को अरेंज करेगा हु विल डू, दैट इज जस्टिस. ओके, फोर्थ वर्च्यू जस्टिस इज आर्किटेक्टोनिक इन नेचर, बैलेंसिंग एंड हार्मोनाइजिंग द अदर थ्री क्वालिटीज, एंड spirit is loyal ally of region. Okay, in each soul one of these qualities would be predominant faculty, depending upon which metal is predominant. ठीक है, यानी every person will have रीजन, करेज एंड एपेटाइट. लेकिन कोई पर्सन होगा जिसमें रीजन डोमिनेट करेगा, किसी में ये डोमिनेट करेगा. सो एवरी पर्सन हैज रीजन, करेज एंड एपेटाइट, बट द डोमिनेट फैक्टर द रेशनल, करेजियस और एपेटेटिव. तो जो जिसमें रीजन डोमिनेट करेगा इन दोनों से, वो रूलर बनेगा. करेज सोल्जर. ठीक है, जैसे जो सोल्जर क्लास होगा उसमें सबसे ज्यादा होगा करेज, रीजन एंड एपेटाइट विल बी लेस. ओके, और जो प्रोड्यूसिंग क्लास होगी उसमें रीजन और करेज से ऊपर कौन सा होगा? एपेटाइट. तो तीन क्लासेज हैं, और जिसमें जो डोमिनेट करेगा डिपेंड करेगा मेटल पे. अगला लिखिए, ह्यूमन बिहेवियर फ्लोज फ्रॉम द मेटल्स. ओके, साइकोलॉजिकल हार्मनी इंप्लाइज इन द जस्ट सोल. Psychological harmony implies that in the just soul, each element stays in its own place and performs the task to which it is naturally suited. Justice allows psychological harmony. ठीक है, इसको एक्सप्लेन करता हूं. सपोज देयर आर थ्री पर्सन ए बी सी. इसमें रीजन डोमिनेट कर रहा है, इसमें करेज, इसमें एपेटाइट. ओके, एवरी इंडिविजुअल की बात कर रहे हैं. तो इस पर्सन का जस्टिस ये होगा कि इसमें करेज और एपेटाइट पे कंट्रोल करे. जस्टिस. इस पर्सन का जस्टिस ये होगा कि ये करेज के साथ काम करे, रीजन और एपेटाइट को कंट्रोल करके रखे. करेज, जो सी पर्सन है उसमें एपेटाइट है, तो उसका जस्टिस ये होगा. यानी जस्टिस का मतलब है पर्सन विच इज नेचुरली सूटेड विल डू फंक्शन अकॉर्डिंग टू इट, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन इट्स नेचुरल फैकल्टीज. ओके, जिसमें रीजन ज्यादा है वो रीजन का काम करे, जिसमें करेज ज्यादा है वो करेज का काम करे, जिसमें एपेटाइट ज्यादा है वो एपेटाइट का काम करे. तो जस्टिस क्या करेगा? जो जिसमें ज्यादा है वो काम करेगा. जस्टिस इज फोर्थ वर्च्यू. करेज, टेम्परेंस एंड रेशनल, दे आर थ्री वर्च्यूज, बट जस्टिस इज होल्डिंग देम टुगेदर in an individual. That's why I said that psychological harmony implies that in just soul, each element stays in its own place and performs the task to which it is naturally suited. Okay, soul in which region dominates is the best, is in best position to comprehend the ultimate idea of justice. According to Plato, reason must control and direct emotion and passion. This explains the rational soul. This explains that why the rational soul embodied in the philosopher will rule over the city. He uses analogy of human body, that all organ should function डिपेंडिंग ऑन देयर रिस्पेक्टिव टास्क. हार्ट का काम है ब्लड को पंप करना, ओके, माउथ को ईट करना, ईयर को सुनना, हर कोई अपना काम करेगा तो इट विल बी हेल्दी बॉडी. सिमिलरली ए हेल्दी स्टेट विल बी देयर, एवरी क्लासेस विल डू फंक्शन अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर नेचुरल टैलेंट. ओके, justice in the individual mean that every individual is assigned particular place in society according to one's natural aptitude and skill. Restraint is the key for proper development and social harmony. Individual's functional role in society is determined by own natural talent and not by hereditary or parental lineage. The outcome of justice will be peace, harmony, and excellence. Okay, so we have seen that justice in individual. It means that जो सोल जिस नेचर की है, that should function according to them. Okay, suppose a man is rational, he should become ruler. Suppose man is courageous, he become that. Okay, so there are three elements in soul: reason, courage and appetite. The justice in individual soul, और individual soul में justice क्या होगा? According to its dominant soul, he will function according to dominating soul. All right, just a minute. Okay, now justice in individual we have seen, and now we have to find what is justice in a state. All right, we have seen justice in individual as कि जिसके जो सोल डोमिनेट करती है उसको इसके हिसाब से काम करना है. All right, so we have seen that what is justice is in individual. Now we have to see justice in the state. Okay, so there is a analogy, city soul analogy. यानी there is connection between just soul and just city. City मतलब city, state. So it is saying that, it is said by Plato that state is individual writ large. Okay, it means state is individual. State is bigger manifestation of individual person. एक बार जब हम आई टेस्ट के लिए जाते हैं तो आई चार्ट होता है ना बड़ा सा एक, उसमें क्या होते हैं, स्मॉल लेटर्स होते हैं, एक बड़ा लेटर्स होते हैं. सो इफ वी कैन नॉट सी द स्मॉल लेटर्स, वी कैन सी द लार्ज लेटर्स. इट मीन्स दैट वी कैन नॉट सी द जस्टिस इन इंडिविजुअल सोल, क्योंकि इंसान को देख के पता नहीं चलेगा कि इज इट जस्ट इंडिविजुअल और नॉट. सो प्लेटो इज सेइंग दैट ओके, वी कैन नॉट सी जस्टिस एज इंडिविजुअल, बट वी कैन सी जस्टिस एज द स्टेट, एज स्टेट. ओके, जैसे आई चार्ट में वी कैन नॉट सी द स्मॉल लेटर्स बट वी कैन सी लार्ज लेटर्स. सिमिलरली इफ वी कैन नॉट सी इंडिविजुअल, वी कैन सी द स्टेट. ओके, ऑलराइट, so state is individual writ large. ऑलराइट, तो जस्टिस इन स्टेट क्या होगा? स्टेट में क्या है, देयर आर थ्री डिफरेंट क्लासेस. वन इज प्रोड्यूसिंग क्लास, second is soldier class, and third is ruling class. ओके तो जो प्रिंसिपल है जस्टिस से इंडिविजुअल में, इसका मतलब क्या है, स्टेट इंडिविजुअल रिट लार्ज का, द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ जस्टिस फाउंड इन इंडिविजुअल, प्रिंसिपल ऑफ जस्टिस फाउंड इन इंडिविजुअल कैन बी अप्लाइड टू प्रिंसिपल ऑफ जस्टिस इन स्टेट. He is saying that state is individual writ large, and earlier we have found that what are the principle of justice in individual soul. Okay, the principle of justice in individual soul is that reason dominates courage and appetite. So what is he saying? That state is simply writ large of individual. Okay, it means that जो प्रिंसिपल स्टेट के, जो जस्टिस के इंडिविजुअल में है, वी कैन अप्लाई दोज प्रिंसिपल इन स्टेट. ओके, जैसे सोल, जस्टिस इन इंडिविजुअल क्या है, सोल, देयर आर सोल इन विच रीजन डोमिनेट्स ओवर करेज एंड एपेटाइट. सिमिलरली जस्टिस इन स्टेट, रूलिंग क्लास will dominate over soldier class and producer class. And who will be the ruling class? Which has soul of rational soul. And who will be the soldier class? Spirited soul or courageous soul. And who will be the producer class? Appetitive class. All right. तो जस्टिस यही है कि रीजन डोमिनेट करता है करेज एपेटाइट को इंडिविजुअल सोल के लेवल पे. द प्रिंसिपल कैन बी अप्लाइड एट लेवल ऑफ स्टेट. ओके, सो द फंक्शन ऑफ स्टेट विल बी, जस्टिस इन द स्टेट विल बी कि ईच क्लास शुड डू फंक्शन अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर टैलेंट. जो टेबल बनाई थी अपन ने, कहां गई टेबल, ये रही. द रेशनल सोल विल डू रूलिंग. ओके, द स्पिरिटेड सोल विल डू द सोल्जर, and appetitive soul become producer. Then will be justice. It means that the principle of justice are division of labor. It is functional specialization. Okay, you specialize in ruling, soldiering or producing. Then you should have proper stationing. And the third, you should not interfere, non-interference in each other's sphere. All right. So these are the principle of justice. That. तो ultimately अगर मैं brief में बताऊं तो ये है कि सोसाइटी में, Plato is saying सोसाइटी में there are three classes. One is ruling class, another is soldiering class or the warring class, and another is producing class. अगर ये क्लासेस प्रॉपर स्टेशनिंग कर दी जाए इनकी, जो रूलिंग क्लास वाले वो रूल करेंगे, ये सोल्जरिंग करेंगे और ये प्रोड्यूस करेंगे. इफ वी प्रॉपर स्टेशन देम डिपेंडिंग अपॉन फंक्शनल स्पेशलाइजेशन, ओके, एंड दे डू नॉट इंटरफेयर इन ईच अदर्स स्फीयर, देन द आउटकम ऑफ दिस अरेंजमेंट विल बी जस्ट. ऑलराइट, जो हमने स्टार्टिंग किया था ना सिटी के ओरिजिन के लिए, कि सिटी में डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर हुआ था और नेचुरल टैलेंट के बेसिस पे हुआ था. ठीक है, तो नेचुरल टैलेंट के बेसिस पे सब लोग अपना काम करेंगे तो दे विल बी जस्टिस इन सोसाइटी. और ही इज यूजिंग हिज थियरी ऑफ सोल टू से दैट विच पर्सन इज इंटाइटल्ड फॉर रूलिंग. इसमें रीजन ज्यादा होगा, फिलोसॉफी की समझ ज्यादा होगी, वो रूल करेगा. इसमें स्पिरिट होगी सोल में, वो सोल्जरिंग का काम करेगा. ओके, सो यू कैन राइट notes on theory of justice. According to Socrates, state is individual writ large. It is easier to see justice at the level of state. For example, similar to eye chart, he uses city soul analogy. सोल के करस्पॉन्डिंग स्टेट में फंक्शन. city soul analogy to depict that each soul correspond to particular class. और अब ये डायग्राम बना लेना है ये वाला, ठीक है, ओके। Justice is relation among individual. In Plato's system of thought, the issue of just human conduct and a just social order are intertwined. Justice in the state means that the three social classes perform their allotted function without interfering in each other, bracket proper stationing and non-interference. It implies that one class, one duty, one man, one work. Hence, the principle of justice will be proper stationing, functional specialization and non-interference in each other's sphere. Hence, mind your own business. Just society recognizes and educate every individual talent according to dominant element in one's soul and ordered these element into coherent classes, ब्रैकेट थ्योरी ऑफ एजुकेशन। यानी जिसके पास गोल्ड की सोल है उसको फिलोसॉफी पढ़ानी ताकि रूलर बने, जिसके पास ब्रोंज की सोल है उसको ये बताना है कि ट्रेड कैसे करते हैं ताकि ट्रेड क्लास बने, जो वॉर कर सकता है उसको वॉरिंग क्लास बनाना। यानी 3 क्लास बनेगी डिपेंडिंग अपॉन व्हाट सोल और व्हाट एलिमेंट दे। ओके, मैं वापस से एक्सप्लेन करता हूं। जैसे कि किसी पास गोल्ड की सोल है, ओके, यानी उसके पास रीजनिंग की पावर है, तो उसको रीजनिंग पढ़ाओ, फिलोसॉफी पढ़ाओ ताकि आगे जाके वो रूलिंग क्लास बने। तो यही तो है कि सोल में जो क्वालिटी है उसके हिसाब से क्लास बनती है और उसके हिसाब से फंक्शन होता है। तो सोल क्लास फंक्शन, ठीक है। सपोज एक पर्सन है जो जिसके पास एपिटेटिव सोल है, जिसकी यानी ब्रोंज की सोल है, ठीक है। तो ब्रोंज की सोल कैसे, उसका क्या काम रहेगा कि उसको पढ़ाओ कि ट्रेड कैसे करते हैं, बिजनेस कैसे करते हैं। सो ही विल बिकम द प्रोड्यूसर क्लास। और ये सिखाएंगे कैसे, नाउ थ्योरी ऑफ एजुकेशन विल कम। ओके, नाउ थ्योरी ऑफ एजुकेशन विल कम, ठीक है, ये लिख लिया आपने। नाउ जस्टिस मीन्स गिविंग ईच other, each person is due, full stop. Notion of Plato's theory is distributive justice, comma, giving what is due to an individual, that is good training and skills in return for proper discharge of one's responsibility. Justice is the virtue of state or social order, as other 3 virtues exist. Each class will develop its befitting virtue. यानी सोल्जर क्लास है वो अपना वर्च्यू डेवलप करेगी स्पिरिट का, प्रोड्यूसर क्लास है एपेटाइट का करेगी, वर्च्यू प्रोड्यूसिंग का करेगी, ठीक है। हर कोई क्लास अपने आप में एक डेवलप करेगी। और जस्टिस क्या करेगा, जस्टिस विल होल्ड देम टुगेदर फॉर पीस, हार्मनी एंड एक्सीलेंस। ओके, नाउ सी, राइट, प्लेटोज थ्योरी ऑफ जस्टिस हैज बीन डिस्क्राइब्ड एज आर्किटेक्टोनिक theory of justice. It draws analogy between social organization and architecture to find nature of justice. construction of building requires different artisans, but competent architecture will combine all of them, that each would strengthen the other. यानी जैसे एक आर्किटेक्चर, ओके, वन पर्सन इज फॉर वन पर्सन इज स्पेशलाइज इन फर्नीचर, वन इज पेंटिंग and one is ceiling work. Okay, the good architecture will combine the use of these three to make a good architecture. Similarly, justice is architecture who will combine producer class, working class, warrior class and the ruling class. Okay, all right, it means that फाइनली ये रिवाइज करते हैं, मेटल जो होगा वो डिसाइड करेगा कि क्वालिटी ऑफ सोल क्या है, सोल, और जो क्वालिटी ऑफ सोल होगी उसके हिसाब से वर्च्यू होगा, और उसके हिसाब से वो क्लास डेवलप होगी, क्लास डेवलप होगी तो फंक्शन होगा। और ब्रीफ में बोले तो जो सोल है वही क्लास होगी, ठीक है। और सोल के बेसिस पे जस्टिस होगा इंडिविजुअल में, इन इंडिविजुअल, जस्टिस इन क्लास के भी जस्टिस इन स्टेट। और इसको कनेक्ट करने वाली लाइन क्या है, स्टेट इज इंडिविजुअल रिट लार्ज। ये पूरी जस्टिस ऑफ थ्योरी ऑफ जस्टिस की समरी है। यानी जो सोल डोमिनेट करेगी उसके हिसाब से जस्टिस होगा इंडिविजुअल में, और जिसकी जो सोल होती है उसके हिसाब से इंडिविजुअल की, उसके हिसाब से क्लास बनती है सोसाइटी में, ठीक है। रीजनल सोल, रेशनल सोल की रूलिंग क्लास, एपिटेटिव सोल की प्रोड्यूसिंग क्लास। अगर यहां जस्टिस चाहिए है ना, तो यहां भी जस्टिस चाहिए, और दोनों को लिंक क्या कर रहा है, स्टेट इज इंडिविजुअल रिट लार्ज। ओके, now you can write some definition or point on individual writ large. Okay, right, heading state is individual writ large। इसको explain कैसे करेंगे? State is magnified form of individual, state is abstraction, people living together form state। State doesn't come out of oak or rock, it inherits in mind of people who lives in state। We cannot expect state to be just, okay, if people living in state are unjust। Hence, principle which governs the life of individual can be applied at the level of state। यानी जो प्रिंसिपल बता रहा था कि इंडिविजुअल जस्ट कैसे बनता है, क्या वो प्रिंसिपल बना सकते हैं स्टेट में? जब एथिक्स में आप पढ़ोगे, एथिक्स में एक थ्योरी आती है वर्च्यू एथिक्स की, वो ये बोलती है कि कैरेक्टर ऑफ इंडिविजुअल अच्छा होगा तभी तो स्टेट अच्छा होगा, ठीक है। अगर स्टेट में बहुत सारे लोग हैं, सारे का कैरेक्टर अच्छा हो जाए तो आपस में तो सबका स्टेट का कैरेक्टर अच्छा हो जाएगा। ये भी तो ये बोल रहा है कि अगर इंडिविजुअल में अगर जस्टिस है तो स्टेट में भी जस्टिस होगा, ओके। क्योंकि स्टेट क्या है, स्टेट तो एक एब्स्ट्रैक्ट कॉन्सेप्ट है, स्टेट को बनाते कौन है, रहने वाले लोग। आगे जीएस मिल आते हैं, एक फिलोसोफर, ही विल से दैट नो स्टेट कैन बिकम ग्रेट बाय ड्वार्फिंग इट्स ओन पीपल। No state can become great by dwarfing its own people, because if people are not developed, the state cannot be developed. If people are unjust, the state cannot be just. It means that which principles which are governing the state of life, state of individual, that what is just individual, in which region dominate over courage and appetite, same principle will be applied at the level of state, okay। Just man is one in which region dominates over courage and appetite. Similarly, just state or ideal state is the one where there is rule of knowledge or philosopher king. Okay. Now let us see some criticism of theory of justice. First, there is no importance to right. क्योंकि ये कह रहा है कि हर क्लास को अपने नेचुरल टैलेंट के हिसाब से स्टेट के लिए काम करना है, बट इट नॉट सेइंग एनीथिंग अबाउट राइट. सेकंड, he sacrifices individual for the welfare of society. It will lead to subordination of individual to society. Okay, and there is ambiguity in Plato's argument that why producer and soldier class would be willing to under subordination of ruling class, and how long will this subordination will last. Control and monitoring cannot establish happiness in ideal state. Okay, so ये थ्योरी ऑफ जस्टिस कंप्लीट हो गई. थ्योरी ऑफ जस्टिस डिपेंड करती है थ्योरी ऑफ क्लास, सोल, या मैं यूं कहूं कि सोल के बेसिस पे क्लास होगी. ये फाउंडेशन है थ्योरी ऑफ जस्टिस का. और क्लास में डिफरेंट पर्सन की जो टैलेंट है, सोल है, उनके हिसाब से क्लासें होंगी. क्लास 1 क्लास, सेकंड क्लास, थर्ड क्लास. थर्ड क्लास तो नहीं बोलना चाहिए, प्रोड्यूसिंग क्लास. और जो टैलेंट है उसके हिसाब से काम करना है, स्पेशलाइजेशन उसी में लेना है, प्रॉपर स्टेशनिंग वही होगी और इंटरफेयर नहीं करना. ये जस्टिस का कॉन्सेप्ट है. ओके, लेकिन this theory is not democratic theory because due to his anti-democratic attitude, he is saying that producer class cannot do the function of rulership. Producer class cannot become king or the ruler or in government. Similarly, soldier class cannot become government or ruler. He is saying this. तो ये तो वही आ गया जो एंशिएंट इंडिया में डिवीजन थे. एंशिएंट इंडिया में ब्राह्मण, क्षत्रिय, वैश्य, शूद्र, these classes cannot do govern. They cannot become king. All right. Similarly, Plato is saying that there are 3 classes. Brahman means reasoning class, Kshatriya means warrior class, and this is producer class. They cannot become ruler. So it has created the stratification, rigid stratification in society. It will be based on discrimination because Plato was having anti-democratic attitude. So Plato do not want producing class to have share in political participation. Okay, so it was aristocratic element in Plato which prevented producing class from gaining democracy. Okay, so that was all about theory of justice in Plato. Okay, now we have seen that ideal state ruled by philosopher king. We have seen the theory of class based on soul. तो सोल क्लास की थ्योरी समझ में आ गई होगी. सोल क्लास की थ्योरी से आता है थ्योरी ऑफ जस्टिस. तो जस्टिस का मतलब क्या है कि हर क्लास अपने जो फंक्शन है उसके हिसाब से काम करे. तो रूलिंग क्लास कौन है? जहां पर रीजन डोमिनेट करे इंडिविजुअल में. तो जहां पर रेशनल पर्सन डोमिनेट करे या रूल करे ओवर रूलिंग क्लास, सोल्जर और प्रोड्यूसर क्लास. तो दैट इज हिज थियरी ऑफ फिलोसफी. यहां से आती है फिलोसोफर किंग की थ्योरी, फिलोसोफर किंग। ओके, यानी जस्ट इंडिविजुअल वो है जहां पर जस्ट सोल हो, यानी रीजन डोमिनेट के करेज और एपेटाइट पे। ठीक है, तो सिमिलर रीजन का पर्सन कौन है? फिलोसोफर किंग शुड रूल ओवर सोल्जर एंड प्रोड्यूसर क्लास। दिस इज द आउटकम ऑफ दिस द फिलोसोफर किंग। नाउ एक चीज ये बताइए आप कि जो सोल है मेटल में, सोल और मेटल और क्वालिटी और वर्च्यू ऑफ सोल, क्वालिटी और वर्च्यू ऑफ सोल, हाउ टू आइडेंटिफाई? कैसे पता करेंगे कि सम पर्सन विच आर हैविंग नॉलेज और रीजन और करेज और एपेटाइट? देख के तो किसी को पता चलेगा नहीं। सो देयर इज नीड ऑफ वन थियरी, थियरी ऑफ एजुकेशन। इट मीन्स वी हैव टू टेस्ट और एग्जामिन। दिस विल बी थ्रू थियरी ऑफ एजुकेशन। कैसे टेस्ट किया जाता है कि सम पर्सन इज सॉल्विंग इन ऑब्जेक्टिव थ्रू प्रीलिम्स, राइटिंग एन आंसर मेंस, पर्सनल इंटर कम्युनिकेशन इंटरव्यू। तो हर चीज का उसका टेस्ट होगा। देयर विल बी 2 टेस्ट्स एट द एज ऑफ 20 and 30 इन थियरी ऑफ एजुकेशन। यानी अभी उसने बताया सोल, थ्योरी ऑफ सोल के बेसिस पे थ्योरी ऑफ क्लास आती है। ठीक है, बट हाउ टू आइडेंटिफाई सोल, विच पर्सन इज हैविंग गोल्ड, ब्रॉन्ज और सिल्वर सोल? ये पता लगाएंगे एग्जामिनेशन से, टेस्ट करने से। और टेस्ट कैसे होता है? एजुकेशन में, जैसे 10th बोर्ड, 12th बोर्ड, यूनिवर्सिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट, देन फाइनल, तभी तो फाइनली डिग्री होती, ग्रेजुएशन होता है। तो सिमिलरली एजुकेशन सिस्टम की रिक्वायरमेंट है जो टेस्ट कर सके कि कौन पर्सन क्या है, एंड जस्टिस विल बी सर्व्ड इन सोसाइटी। ऑलराइट, तो थ्योरी ऑफ एजुकेशन और एजुकेशन इज टेस्ट और एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ what is quality of particular soul. Okay, apart from that, if education finds that this person is of rational soul, it means it need to be training, soldier training. It means that theory of education is for training your mind, training or civic virtues. All right, so in next class we will see is theory of education. Okay, and once we have educated or we have tested, यानी प्रीलिम्स में टेस्ट कर लिया उसको, मेंस में टेस्ट कर लिया और इंटरव्यू में टेस्ट कर लिया, नाउ ही विल बिकम एन IAS ऑफिसर। तो एजुकेशन का काम क्या है? उसको टेस्ट करना और उसमें वर्च्यू डेवलप करना। ओके, नाउ द पर्सन ऑफ IAS बिकम, ही हैज पावर, ही कैन गेन मनी थ्रू करप्शन। ओके, एजुकेशन से आपने एक फिलोसोफर को बना दिया, फिलोसोफर किंग को आपने बना दिया, बट व्हाट इज द गारंटी दैट ही विल नॉट बी आफ्टर पावर एंड मनी और नेपोटिज्म? सो Plato, through theory of communism, of wife and property, he will prevent philosopher king from having any money or any power. Okay, so theory of education selects philosopher king, develops virtues in him. But theory of communism will prevent the vices of money, power, etc. So again, idea is philosopher king, the class, metal soul class, and based on this theory of justice, it will say that the philosopher king must rule. Okay, philosopher king how to select philosopher king? Through education. Okay, and how to prevent? Through theory of communism. ओके सो फर्स्ट थ्योरी तो थ्योरी ऑफ आइडिया यानी आइडियल स्टेट बनना चाहिए. ओके देन वी केम टू थ्योरी ऑफ क्लास और थ्योरी ऑफ सोल टू describe that what different class exist in society. Then we came to theory of justice, that how these class can be organized in society, and the outcome was the philosopher king must rule over this society. Now how to select that person? Through theory of education. And how to prevent them from corruption? Theory of communism. Okay, so in next class we will see the theory of education and theory of communism. Okay, so try to revise it. I know that philosophy is complex endeavor, but once you understand it for a single time, then it will be imprinted in your mind. Okay, so you will be able to write answer once you understand or grasp the concept. Revise the notes or revise, see the lecture if you don't understand for the first time, and I have tried to make it simple. जितना पॉसिबल हो सकता था मैंने इसको सिंपल किया, but let's see if there is any doubt you can comment, and if you like my content please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Please do join for next theories, theory of education and theory of communism in next class. Thank you.